Welcome back, fantasy players. I am Red Manuel. You can find me on Twitter at @RManuelSports. And welcome to the Fantasy and Frames 2023 Redraft Target Profile Series, where we'll be taking a look at players in the NFL you should go out and acquire for your leagues this year in order to help you win your championships. Before we get to it, just a quick reminder, head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe for more informative and actionable fantasy football content, and follow us all over social media. You can also see all of our work from our hardworking analysts from Fantasy and Frames over at FantasyandFrames.com. So let's get into it with a potential dynamo this season, Buffalo Bills second-year running back, James Cook. Now, James is a guy that's entering his second year, had some impressive draft capital last year going in the second round of that 2022 NFL Draft. Now, he features a potentially tantalizing skill set that makes him a very good fantasy asset in formats that are going to reward pass-catching running backs. But the downside is that he probably enters 2023 in a timeshare with Damian Harris. So let's get into what makes him possibly appealing for you as a player here in 2023. So he enters this year as a strong candidate to get a much stronger snap share than last year's 24.4%. But despite that small sample size he had last year, he was very efficient in those limited snaps. Cook averaged 5.8 yards per carry on only 91 attempts. He had a 12.1% breakaway run rate that has a yard of 15 or more yards, and that was number one in the NFL. His 11 breakaway runs were 17th overall despite the limited touches. Cook also had 21 catches in sharing a backfield, which tells us that in a bigger role, he could possibly be a guy that has a 50 to 60 reception season, depending on how those targets shake out. In those 21 receptions last season, he averaged 8.6 yards per catch, which is a very solid number for a running back. Now, some downsides. There are going to be some questions about how he is used. We do assume that he's going to get more snaps and more usage, but Buffalo signing Damian Harris indicates that that use won't be around the goal line, which is usually a pretty big thing for running backs, which makes James a pretty game script heavy play on a weekly basis. But thankfully for you as a drafter, Buffalo finished the league third in game script last season, and teams tend to run the ball when ahead. So even if he's between the 20s getting those touches, he should get a lot of them. So that does lend that to James Cook getting some potential value. And also Nyheim Hines' recent injury probably boosts his value as well because it adds some extra pass catching value to him. Currently, Cook is around running back 29, according to Fantasy Pros, and half PPR formats around guys like Rachaad White, Isaiah Pacheco, Alvin Kamara, and David Montgomery. So if he comes to life, I can easily see James Cook outperforming his current late 7th round ADP. So to sum it up with him, I think Cook's high efficiency last season makes him a pretty good upside play for redraft drafters in 2023. With his ability to catch the football and his ability to make big plays in the running game, he's exactly the type of flex player that can help you win weeks when he's at his best. And if you get multiple of ththose weeks, that could be the difference between simply existing in your league to possibly making the playoffs and maybe even winning a championship. So that does it for this target redraft profile. Once again, reminding you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as follow the rest of our content on social media and at FantasyandFrames.com. I'm Red Manuel. I can be found on Twitter at @RManuelSports. Y'all be blessed and have a wonderful evening.